Welcome everyone to this awesome video, and in this video we're going to be looking at object programming with PHP. Now, what is object programming? Now, object programming is about creating objects that contains data and functions. Okay? It's about creating objects that contains data and function. Now, don't actually mix classes with objects. They're actually two different things. So classes and objects are the main aspect of object programming. So let's just give a very simple example right now. Now let's give an example and let's just call this our class, while this is our object, okay? So let's use a practical example. Let's use cars for example. Now we have a car. Car is a general name for all vehicles, okay? Now for cars we have different types of car, okay? We have the Tesla, we have the Mercedes-Benz, then we have the Toyota, we have the Lambo, we have the Rolls-Royce. But for now, let's just look at three types of the cars. Now for now, let's just say this is a Tesla, okay? Let's just get the spelling correct. I think Tesla, yeah. I think the spelling is correct. I think so. So this will be a Benz, Mercedes-Benz. Why this will actually be a Toyota, okay? Then the whole collection, the whole collective name will be cars, right? Now there are some properties that are actually basic, there are some properties that are actually common to all these cars, and that's they have the same set of tires, 4 tires for all the cars. They actually have side mirrors. So these are actually similar properties that we can define with within this class, okay, within this car class, okay. Then all those other properties that are actually distinct this object from each other, they are actually what we can define within those objects, okay? So all these Tesla, Benz, Toyota, they are actually objects within this class. So the car is a class, while these Tesla, Benz, and objects are actually objects within this class, okay? So we can say they're all linking. Let's just get this correct, please. So you can say they are all linking to the class, okay? They're actually all cars. So hopefully with this little example you understand what an object programming is now. Then we can go on to actually creating practical example, practical instances with our code. So let's just go ahead and start with this, okay? Now the first thing we need to do is to actually define a class. So let's just go ahead and create a new file, a new PHP file, and I'm going to call this class.php, okay? Now within our class, let's just go ahead and open our PHP tag, okay? And right here I'm just going to call this let's say class. This is actually the syntax for class. Then this will be probably my class. Okay, so we need our curly bracket, and right here we need to close our PHP tag. This is actually the syntax to actually create a tag, to actually create a class. Then we can define some properties within our class, okay? But for now, let's just go ahead and create a very simple public method. And right here within our public method, which is the function, I'm just going to call this my function. If you notice, I'm calling my functions in a camel case, okay? But for our class, we don't actually need to do this. We can just do class. We can actually say class. So we can actually say probably we can give it a better name and actually say my class, like this, okay? So this is actually a camel case. And right here we can return a very simple thing, and right here we return probably we can return hello world, okay? This is all we need to do. Then to actually use this class, we need to create an instance of the class. Okay, we need to create an instance of the class. So we can use this class directly. We can create a new instance of that class. And right here we're going to create a variable called my class. Okay, and right here will be new instance of that class. Okay, and this will be my class. And this is all we need to do, guys. Then right here, since we're returning this value right here within this method, then we can just echo out the method. Okay, so I'm going to say $my class. Then I'm going to go inside this class and actually use this, then go inside and say my function. And guys, this is all what we need to do. Okay, this is just all we need to do. Now when we create a new instance of this class, this variable will actually inherit all the methods, all the properties within this class. Okay, then you can see we are now have access to this function right here. And if we should go ahead, let's just refresh this and we can now preview this code, and you can see the hello word right there. Okay, now another thing we can do is we can pass argument to our object, and we can do this and say probably, let's say, a public function. And right here we're going to say sum, because we need to actually pass two variables to this as an argument to this method and actually get the result. Okay, so let's just call this number 1. Then right here, let's just call this number 2. And right here, we just need to return $number 1 plus $number 2. Okay, this is just all we need to do. We need to actually return this value. Then right here, we can now echo out that value. So what we're actually returning is that anytime you call on this method, you actually want to return something. Okay, it's just like a request and response. So whenever you make a request, you're expecting a response. So we're actually returning this value right here. Okay, so we can now say $my class, which is the instance of the class that we created, and we can say sum, and we need to actually pass two numbers right here. Okay, so this will be my two numbers, and right here I can go ahead, let me just comment this out, and I can go ahead and refresh, and I get the sum for that. Then because we're writing object programming, we can actually reuse this method as many times as possible. So let's just go ahead and refresh, and let's just go ahead and duplicate this. You can see we've duplicated this. So probably let's just do it in 2 places and actually change the figures. And if we should refresh, you can see those results right there. Okay, so let's just go ahead and apply a very simple break to this, and this will be BR to actually make this more visible, and you can see the results right there. Okay, you can see the results right there. Okay, so this is actually the result, and you can see how easy it is to actually reuse these methods. Okay, so there is a lot about object programming, and we're going to be looking at this one after the other. So we're going to stop here for this video, and in the next video we're going to be looking at constructors. What are actually constructors? So I'll see you then.